Welcome to another exciting episode of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Paperboy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And today we're going to have a topic that I think that you're going to do a lot better at than me.
Oh, okay. Not talking?
Yes, it's the Marcel Marceau show. He should do a non-talk show.
Exactly, yes.
Now, today we're going to talk about how aggressively do you pursue a deal.
Ooh, good one.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Well, there's lots of factors like anything else. It depends on if it's something you feel you need, the volume, the price.
All right, okay, we'll stop right there.
Okay.
Maybe the best way to do it is you give a little bit and I give a little bit on it.
Okay.
I'm thinking, because I was thinking about this, there's really nothing that I need. And so I wonder if part of it might be because I've got the, I hesitate to use this word, but luxury of the day job. In other words, I guess I'm comfortable. I would hope so. I've been doing the day job for 32 years. I would hope that I've got some level of comfort in my life.
Yeah.
You also know me in that I really don't want for anything. I don't have great wants, great needs. I don't. I'm happy generally with what I have.
Sure.
So I guess the question for me is there ever a truly life-altering deal that's out there?
Well, there certainly are life-altering or game changers or once a year and once a lifetime. But
well, I'm going to interrupt you again.
All right.
Also, remember the size of my operation.
Yes.
So how big of a deal can I even handle that is life-altering?
Well, I'm thinking more like, okay, you're sourcing, going wherever you got to go. You're selling $10, $15, $20 items. Wouldn't you love to sell $100, $200, $300 items on a daily basis? So I guess something like that presents itself like that. Someone has 1,000 items and they're all 50, 100. You know, you could step your game up, step your average sale. I'm sure you'd want to take advantage of that instead of we're the $1 Million Peddlers, instead of peddling $10, $20.
Instead of being a $1 Million Peddler, $20 at a time, right?
Right. So I mean, like if something like that deal, like that Connecticut deal that I'm working on, that'd be great because the average card might be $100 compared to my average cards are 10 to 20.
Right.
So something like that. Not that I need it, but it's a lot easier selling $100 cards and making even a smaller profit than $10 cards. So again, it depends on the size, the cost and transporting them. Some of these deals nowadays could be $5,000, $10,000.
Oh wow! Right.
I have to think about that as well, and the time away from my job. The business.
Right. The opportunity cost. Right. But I guess the other point of this is we do know somebody who pursues deals really aggressively, and then the question comes in at some point: if you're overly aggressive, can you lose the deal by being overly aggressive? So I guess is there a middle ground, or is it kind of what your personality is? And if you're aggressive all the time, you're going to lose some deals, but you accept that because you're going to get some deals that other people don't get?
Yeah, I mean, my whole thought process has changed from 5 years ago where I wanted to grow. Now I don't want to say I'm so big because I want to grow further, but I have so much inventory that I'm more selective on a deal. Or if a deal comes across, even the Connecticut guy, he wanted crazy money. I offered a lot less, and I said, hey, shop it around. And 2 days later, he's calling to work a deal out. So I'm thinking, well, he only wants to find someone. He can only find someone that wants to cherry pick him, or no one wants to take the good, the bad, and the ugly, which I'm willing to do. So, and that's always put me in a good position. But when you're buying the good, the bad, and the ugly, you need some room to store the bad and the ugly. So it all depends, certainly.
So I guess I don't think you would argue with me whatsoever on this point. You're much more aggressive about getting a deal than I am.
Definitely, I love the hunt, but I love the big deals because there's not too many people to compete with. If you go to an auction, even at Madison Bachville, there's thousands of people you got to worry about them getting the deal before you, or if you're in an auction estate sale, they pick up the item before you. Here, like the Georgia deal, there's 150,000, 200,000 magazines. I'm pretty sure there's not too many people in the world interested in that deal.
Actually, like you just mentioned Madison Bachville, I'm a little bit on the larger size of buyers out there because I'm willing to come by and buy, boxes of stuff off. I'm willing to do it.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm not at this size yet, and I don't think I ever will be just because of my limitations. But where a truly big-time dealer would come in and say, what do you want for your entire stand? Turnkey the stand, and now you're there selling the stuff out of the stand, take whatever doesn't sell back home.
Right.
I'm certainly not in that position, and I wouldn't aggressively pursue that deal.
Well, there could be a factor, and say the Georgia deal for me scaled down to 2, 3, 4, 5,000 or 10,000 foreign magazines or 1800s magazines. Well, if you can get them for 10 cents on the dollar, you're going to find it. Why not buy that deal?
Well,
Even
I guess
though it's big for you.
Well, no, you know something though. So what you just said, I think, may explain a large part of it. A deal is out there. Let's just pretend somebody in the Rochester area has 5,000 magazines from the 1800s, or has 5,000 magazines that are all foreign language.
Yeah.
What kind of competition do I have?
Very little.
So
Very
maybe
little.
that could explain one of the reasons why I'm not overly aggressive, because I don't need to be.
Yeah.
Because I could get that phone call 3 months after the guy put it up for sale,
Yeah.
because nobody wants
Right.
to touch it,
Exactly.
because I'm into such weird little niches that I enjoy, that, you know, whereas if I were into video games or Pokemon cards or something like that, I think you almost have to be incredibly aggressive in those
You can call it
categories.
the country. You're competing with the country, you know. So yeah.
You know, if somebody puts something or other up on Facebook, and you know, or Craigslist or whatever, and they've got 50 calls 5 minutes after putting it up,
Yeah.
that foreign language magazine
Yeah.
deal, I could probably contact them in 2 months and go, "Is that still around?" And they'll go, "Yeah, I took it down because nobody wanted it."
Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously if they wanted $50,000, forget it. They can sit on it forever. But if they're saying, hey, you know, we want $5, you say, well, I'm only willing to pay $2, and you know it's hard to find buyers. Well, eventually he's going to call you, just like with the adult stuff. Everyone always calls me, oh, these are going for $20 to $50. I want $50,000. I go, well, I can offer you this. Go shop it around, and if you can't sell it, you know, reality kicks in. There's nowhere to move the stuff, and then 9 out of 10 times they're coming back and selling to me for my price or even less sometimes.
Yeah, so I think that goes a long way. You know, again, I'm less aggressive, just my personality. I'm less aggressive because I've got the day job. I'm a little bit older than you are. You know, random neighborhood kid is older, so I don't have the young kids, and so on. So for those reasons, I'm less aggressive. But I think I'm also less aggressive than you, again, because the niches that I've picked out, there is no need to be aggressive.
Right, sure.
You don't have to be overly aggressive when you want to buy
Right. Well,
1938 Paris Match magazines. Go ahead.
Or if they have 5,000 Life magazines for 50 cents a piece, well, they can sell them anywhere. You don't need that unless you really want it, you know. So.
Well, and then the other side of that too is, let's just, and we're gonna swing back around to this mythical foreign magazine collection. If it's around Rochester, somebody may out aggressive me and buy it.
Yeah.
Why do I think that whoever bought it at some point is calling me to unload
Right.
a good portion of it as well,
Yeah,
when they suddenly realize
What am I gonna do
how
with all this?
difficult it is, or they're like, okay, I cherry picked all of the foreign Playboys out of it,
Right.
I cherry picked this out of it, that out of it. These things are all in languages I can't even read.
Yeah.
What am I going to do with these?
Yeah.
And I could end up paying, you know, less. They could be taking a loss on that because they've
Yeah.
already cherry picked
Sure,
what they
take
want.
10% of it and sell the rest at cost or below, and they're still in good shape.
Yeah. So kind of an interesting topic. If you could comment down below how aggressive you are, and if you think it depends upon the categories, or if it's as much personality as anything else, or if it could just be the lack of need. Again, I don't need to be aggressive, so, you know, I suppose if I were starving, I'd be much more aggressive in my deals.
Exactly.
Do hit the like button. You do not, that I will aggressively beg
I
for,
agree with
please.
you. Yeah.
And hit the like button, and we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.